Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and I'm bringing you my November/December kind of TBR. So this month and next month, for the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be taking part in the Clear Your Shit Readathon, and by gosh do I need it. Oh my goodness. So just a bit of backstory here. So the Clear Your Shit Readathon is hosted over on Twitter. There is an announcement video. I will leave the Twitter account and the announcement video down below for you if you want to check it out. It's for the next 8 weeks, so it's through November and December, and the point is that you clear your shelves of all the books that you have accumulated. You're meant to be going on a book buying ban, and I swear to gosh, from now on I will be. So I am filming this on the 4th of November, and I have just made a Waterstones order. Don't shoot me. I have kind of failed for the wizard already, but that's just fine. I'll show you those in an upcoming vlog or maybe a mini haul, I don't know yet, but I had a £10 voucher, what can you do? So again, from now on I will be on a book buying ban. The only books that are coming in are pre-orders that I've already pre-ordered months in advance, or my subscription boxes / special edition boxes, again, that I've pre-ordered months in advance. So you are tasked with the job of saving the kingdom of Shelfler, as books are falling on citizens and nobody knows why. There is a wizard involved in this, and he has chosen us for some unknown reason to come and save his kingdom, and it is an amazing readathon. The hosts have put so much thought into it. It is hosted by a narrator who's really sassy and bitchy, for a better term of the word, but the people that are hosting it are Ink and Plasma and Mouse Reads, and do you know what, this seems like the best thing ever. So I'm going to go through with you the prompts that are on this, and I'm just going to go through the general books that I think I want to read at the minute. Sometimes I am a bit of a mood reader, so this TBR may change. I'll update you at the end of November when I do my wrap up, and yeah, we'll just go through it. Hopefully I get most of these read. There are 18 prompts, 21 if you include the free choices, because there are 3 of them, and there is also 2 mini battles and a final battle for you to take part in. So wish me luck. Right, I'm not going in the same prompt order as what is shown on the Twitter account. I've written it on my laptop, it's on a spreadsheet, so it's kind of been more how my brain has taken it when I've been pre-planning, so I'm sorry, but they're all here. So the first prompt is your shortest book on your shelf, and for this I have chosen Havenfall by Sarah Holland. I think it's definitely not my shortest book, I've got to say. So there are 305 pages in this book. So yeah, it's not my shortest book. I do have a shorter book which I'm also considering for this prompt, and that is 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas by Adam Kay. But I don't know if I want to put this on this TBR. This is, oh god, I've just lost it. This is a lot smaller. This came out last year after his well-known This Is Going to Hurt one. It's like there's less than 150 pages in this book, so this is considerably shorter than the one I have picked. But as you may notice, I have got at least 3 books for every prompt on this list. But the ones I'm going to go through with you today are the ones I'm most looking forward to reading. I'm not going to go through every book that I want to read for every prompt apart from this one, because this is a little bit up in the air. I would love to read this so I can get through all of the books that are from my subscription boxes, but this is shorter, so if I need to read it just to tick it off because I really want to complete this readathon for a change, then I will end up reading this. I haven't actually seen anyone talking about this one massively recently, so I'm going to read you what it says on the inside cover of the dust jacket to give you a general idea. As always, all of the links to these books will be linked down below. Click on them if you want to find out the actual description of these books, because mine probably won't be the best, and I don't think I'm going to go in depth into all of these books, otherwise this will be a very long video. So this says, Maddie Morrow knows that Havenfall is more than it seems. Beneath the beautiful sprawling inn lie the hidden gateways to 3 ancient realms, Bryn, Fjordenkill and Solaria. Maddie's destiny is here, rooted in her family's promise to protect the fragile alliance between the worlds. But when a brutal murder shatters the peace and someone she loves stands accused, Maddie must step forward to protect the place and the people she cares for most. Her safe haven will never be the same again. This sounds pretty good, I have to say. The next prompt is longest on your shelf. So I definitely have 3 books for this, but 2 of them I'm partway through reading, so I thought I'd pick one that I haven't actually started reading or haven't even tried reading, just to try and get it on there. But if I end up finishing one of the books that are on my shelf already, I'll still tick it off. And the book I've chosen for this is This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. So this is the one he came out with a couple of years ago and that he does a live show for. It's a non-fiction and it's like notes from when he was a doctor. I think it was when he was a doctor, but it was when he worked for the NHS, basically. And you know what? What better time to read a book about our NHS than now? I should have read it last time I was in lockdown. I didn't get around to it. I also wasn't feeling reading like non-fiction massively, not even ones about the heroes in our NHS. So this time around, I think I will definitely get to it, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. The third prompt is recommended or gifted. So I've got a couple of books again on this one, but the one I'm picking is the one that my best mate sent me for my birthday this year, and that is Mythos by Stephen Fry, because this is his favourite book. And this is basically about Greek heroes, which is wicked. It says, join Jason aboard the Argo as he seeks the Golden Fleece and see Atalanta outrun all men before being tricked with golden apples, soldier through Hercules' 12 labours, shiver in terror under the stone-cold gaze of Medusa, and witness wily Oedipus solve the riddle of the Sphinx. From white-knuckle chases to twisting labyrinths, impossible puzzles to blood-curdling monsters, Heroes is filled with dramatic, funny, tragic and timeless tales of what we mortal men and women are truly capable of at our heroic best. So this also sounds amazing. I know that Stephen Fry has actually brought out the 3rd book to this, and I think it's called Troy, and Waterstones have got a gorgeous edition of it. So, you know, maybe I'll read this and then read the second one and then get that one. Who knows? The next prompt is Found Family, and for that I have chosen Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which is the sequel to 6 of Crows. We still follow the same ragtag group of people, which I am looking forward to, and I can't wait to see what other like misfortune and mischief they get up to, because there was a lot in the first book and I need to finish this duology. It is on the top of my list. I just want to get some series finished, if I'm completely honest. The amount that I have sitting on my shelf, and I've got a couple of books in here that are also me trying to finish series before the end of 2020, because wouldn't that be amazing? The next prompt is With an Animal. So for this book prompt, I have 1 book, and that is Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho, which is the sequel to The Wicked Fox. And you know what? I really enjoyed the first book. I love the Korean mythology in it. I love the characters. They're both so well written and they're so lovely. I can't wait to see what happens in the next book. I think this is the second and the last book in this series. I think it's just going to be a duology. But yeah, this is as close to a book with an animal I could really get to, in all honesty. I mean, I could probably include some other books. I know like Kingdom of Souls has got like a snake on the cover. Don't know if that means there's a snake. Blood and Honey, that's got a snake on it. Don't know if that means it includes a snake, you know, but I think this is a really good fit. And again, another duology that I want to get finished. The next prompt is an intimidating book, and for this it kind of won't make any sense just yet, but I have got A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas, which is the 3rd book in the trilogy for ACOTAR, and I am taking part in ACOTAR-along, so I should be reading A Court of Mist and Fury, which I will read this month, but this is an intimidating book for me just because it's quite chunky, and that's it really. It's just because it's a bit chunky. The thing is, I have got other books that I do find quite intimidating. I mean, there's a great deal of them. The new Christopher Paolini book, but I've got that already in this haul for a later prompt, so keep your eye out for that. Game of Thrones, but I'm already partway through it, so I don't really want to count it. There are so many books, I think, that I could fit into these prompts that are already on my currently reading cart, but I'm trying to get more books through, if that makes sense. However, I do know that if I'm reading all of these books, I won't finish those books because I'm reading these books, and I know it's a conundrum, but do you know what? Just let me have it. But yeah, that is my most intimidating book. There are also a couple of other books on there, like Burning Gods, but that's more because it's the end of a series, and Malice, which is the first book in a series that doesn't seem to be massively magical or fantasy orientated, which is why I'm thinking it might be a bit intimidating. It's a bit more just historical fiction, but I'm really looking forward to getting into that one as well. The next prompt is most expensive, and as I've just mentioned it, this is pretty fitting, and that is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. So this is definitely the most expensive book I've ever bought. This is a Goldsboro edition, so it cost me about £25 for an actual book. I think this is kind of a lie. I think the most money I've ever spent on a book is about 45 quid, which was my Waterstones edition of Chain of Gold, but I haven't actually read the whole series, and I'm trying to read them all in order, or in an order that I found on Epic Reads, so I don't want to predict reading that because I don't think I'll be anywhere near reading that series anytime soon within the next 2 months. So I've picked this one because, my gosh, this can also, you know, cross off for the most intimidating book because, my gosh, is this chunky. It is it's almost 900 pages long. It's an adult fantasy. It sounds amazing. It says, Kira Navarez dreamed of life on new worlds. Now she's awakened a nightmare. During a routine survey mission on an uncolonized planet, Kira finds an alien relic. At first she's delighted, but elation turns to terror when the ancient dust around her begins to move. As war erupts among the stars, Kira is launched into a galaxy-spinning odyssey of discovery and transformation. First contact isn't at all what she imagined, and events push her to the very limits of what it means to be human. While Kira faces her own horrors, Earth and its colonies stand upon the brink of annihilation. Now Kira might be humanity's greatest and final hope. Doesn't that sound incredible? I really want to read this. It's like at the top of my list for these prompts. Apologies if the angle or the lighting or something has changed. My battery died and it has just finished recharging, so let's get back into this. The next prompt is a book that is blue or water themed, and I've decided to hit both of these prompts on the head with Fable by Adrian Young. So this is the Fairy Loot edition with the sparkly edges, and it's gorgeous, isn't it? Lovely in blue. Once again, my description of this book will be what it says on the back. So, as the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home 17-year-old Fable has ever known. It's been 4 years since her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together, they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. This book sounds really good, and like I said, it crosses off both prompts. It is blue, it is water themed. What more can you ask of me? There are also quite a few other books that can fill this prompt in should I need it. The new Paolini book, that is blue. One that I'm going to talk about later is also blue. So I'm trying to find loads of different books that I've tried reading or haven't read yet to try and fill in these prompts, but ones that if I read one of them they could probably cross a couple of prompts, because I'd love to actually finish a readathon. And you know what, 18 books is a lot of books to read, but we will see how I do, and I'll probably be saying that throughout this video because I'm trying to motivate myself to get more books off my shelves, my TBR, the ones that I can talk about. That'd be fantastic. And also, you know, I'd love to do a bit of a wrap up at the end of the year about what I think of my subscription books. Wouldn't that be nice? The next theme is book with a map, and I found this quite hard with the books that I have on my shelves. I could find two, one of which was Nevernight. I'm partway through it anyway, so I could read that and that would work. But the other one that I found was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and it is like just a general like map of where this story takes place, which is pretty cool and quite useful. So in this book there are reds, which are the commoners, and there are the silvers, which have like godly powers that they can wield. And we are following Mare in this story, who is 17-year-old, but she actually has a dangerous power of her own, and when it becomes known, she gets whisked away into this land of silvers that she never thought she'd be able to get access to, basically. And now that Mare has got a place within the Silvers, she is thinking about ways to bring down the regime to make it fairer for everyone. So she has just entered a world full of betrayal and lies, and this sounds amazing. I have tried to read it before. I didn't get very far. I now have the whole thing, all 4 books of this series. I haven't got there's a short stories one called Broken Throne. I haven't got that. Wanted to make sure I read the series first, but this series was a steal. I think I found this for like £8 on like Book Depository or Book Outlet or something like that. I found it for like £8 and I was very impressed. So that is that prompt. The next one is a book with a shiny cover and or magical objects. So I've picked Star Daughter for this. I would rate that this cover is kind of shiny. It is not the shiniest book that I own, but it has sparkly sprayed edges. So can I count that as shiny? I think that'll be right. There are, once again, I've got loads of shiny books. And once again, because I don't go into a lot of my books knowing an awful lot, I found it difficult to try and find a book with magical objects. Just like the standard ones came into my head that are well known, but ones that I haven't actually explored yet, I don't know. In this book we're following Shital, and she is half human and half star, and on her 17th birthday she unfortunately injures her father. In order to heal her father, she needs the power of a full star. So she ascends to the sky, but her celestial family have called her there for one reason, and that is to be their human champion in this competition that they're doing. But if she wins, that could mean that she saves her father's life. So because she is desperate to save her father, she agrees to go and fight for them, but there are obviously dark forces at work trying to shut the gates between the worlds forever. And this book sounds great. Once again, another subscription book. I've got quite a few in here that I want to read, but I just thought that would be great. The next prompt is character that you want to fight, and for that I have picked One of Us Is Next by Karen M. McManus. This is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying, so this follows on, I think it's about a year later. We follow 3 characters: Maeve, who is the younger sister of Bronwyn, who was featured in the first book, Knox, who is her best friend, and we follow Phoebe, who is someone else at that school, and we follow all 3 of them as a new game emerges. So in the last book it was following a murder case by one of the students called Simon, as he framed Bronwyn, Nate, Cooper and Addie. But in this one, the person who is behind everything wanted to out Simon, and they have developed a truth or dare game. So you either pick truth or you pick dare. That's pretty self-explanatory. But if you do not respond within 24 hours, your biggest secret will be revealed to the whole school, and it sounds pretty good. I'm pretty excited to get into this one. Right up my street. I loved the first book. I loved Two Can Keep a Secret. That was her other book, and I'm really looking forward to when The Cousins comes out. I think that's next year now, or later this year. I'm excited for that. The next 2 prompts are pretty wide open. You can interpret them how you want. The first one is magical, so I am reading The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is magic because they have magic. Simple as that. Nari is a healer. We're still following her, and we're following Prince Ali, following on from the first book, which I'm not going to give any description of this because that will spoil what happened in the first book, but I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm still buddy reading it with the Daevabadreadalong, and do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm excited. It's bloody huge, but it's fine. It sounds amazing. The second wide open prompt is fantasy, and for that I am picking Jade City, and this is by Fonda Lee. I have heard mixed reviews on this now, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but I am interested in giving it a go for myself. Can't wait. So the description of this is rather brief, if I'm honest. It says, Jade is the lifeblood of the city of Janloon, a stone that enhances a warrior's natural strength and speed. It is mined, traded, stolen and killed for, all controlled by 2 families equal in their power and ruthlessness. When a modern drug emerges that allows anyone, even foreigners, to wield Jade, simmering tension between the 2 clans erupt in open war, which sounds amazing, and it is described as an epic drama reminiscent of the best classic Hong Kong gangster films, but taking place in a fantasy metropolis so gritty and well imagined that you'll forget you're reading a book. And that is by Ken Liu. Kinlu, maybe. Sounds great, sounds up my street. I love a good fantasy book. It's also the in-betweeny of chunky, I guess, of a fantasy book. It is just below 500 pages, but that seems like a good amount to get into. I know this is the first book in the series, so there is more to it. So this could just be a world-building book, but we shall find out, hopefully, by the end of December. The next prompt is a pretty cover, and I have many an option for this prompt, but because it is a new release and I now own 2 copies of the same book, I am going with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, because this cover is stunning. The dust jacket, the hidden foil, it's all gorgeous. The sprayed edges in this version, in the other special edition that I have got, I just love them. I think they're gorgeous. Do we need a description? We're following Addie in this book, and she makes a deal with a demon that means that she can live forever, but the catch is she will be remembered by no one. And she's pretty happy with this, so she goes about her days and she floats through life. That is until 300 years later, when she is in a bookshop and a young gentleman remembers her face and her name. So I'm really excited to see how this is. I've seen so many good reviews about this book, just saying how lyrical the writing is, how beautiful, how V.E. Schwab it is. And to be fair, I have not read a whole book by V.E. Schwab yet. I am working on it, slowly but surely, so I think this would be a great either first read that I complete, because I am still partway through A Darker Shade of Magic, or a great second read if I finish that one before this one. I love how open these prompts are. Like, you can interpret them any way you want. Don't worry if you don't have a book that fits the prompts like exactly so. You can interpret them how you want, and that is what I love about this readathon. Again, with the idea being that you're reading books off your shelves, that you don't need to buy new ones. Hands down, well done to the creators, this is bloody brilliant. The next prompt is pre-order, and for that I have got a couple of books in mind, but I'm going to show you this one because I'm showing it off everywhere, and that is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mulholland. This is the second book following Lou and Reed, and I'm really excited to delve back into this book. This is the Fairy Loot edition, it's gorgeous. I cannot wait to dive back into this world, this book. I believe there's a third one after this. I think it's going to be a trilogy, so I'm excited for that. I've heard, again, not the best things about this book, just because, I don't know, maybe it's middle book syndrome. Occasionally that happens quite a lot in trilogies. The middle book is kind of wobbly because it's trying to tie up some loose ends, push the story forward a bit more. But we shall see. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Other books that I've got in mind for this are the Magpie Society, One for Sorrow by Zoe Sugg and Amy McCulloch. How the King of Elfheim Learned How to Hate, I never get that title right, by Holly Black. What else have I got on my pre-order list? Kingdom of Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. I'm pretty sure that's her. I've got that book. And I've also got The Burning Gods in mind by R.F. Kuang, because, you know, who needs 4 choices for one book prompt? Me, because I don't know which one I'm going to want to read. Well, I'm going to want to read all of them, but within the next couple of months. And hopefully, if I decide to read all 4 of them, they can fit into other prompts as well, should I need. The next prompt is a scary book, and for that I am picking The Diviners, which matches my hoodie, actually, oddly enough, by Libba Bray. So I've heard so many good things about this book. One, can we appreciate how it's a floppy paperback? I spent way too much money on this book. And the second one, because the only place to get these paperbacks with this cover, because I am a perfectionist and I need them all to match, is eBay, and they're like £12 something each, so the most I've ever paid for a paperback. So this could fit into the most expensive prompt as well. But I digress and slightly rant. So my scary book is The Diviners. I don't know how scary it is. I have heard it is kind of creepy, which I think would be great. So this is set in the 1920s, and we are following Ellie. And in this book, she is exiled from her old hometown, and she's made to go live with her uncle who lives in New York. And her biggest concern is that he will discover her supernatural powers, because he is obsessed with the occult. When he is called to help the police on a murder investigation where a cryptic symbol is found, Ellie thinks that she can use her supernatural powers for good. So we shall see. And it says on the back, and unknown to all, something dark and evil has awakened. So I feel like this will fit that prompt perfectly. We have 2 more prompts left. One is a book you don't remember, and that is The Dangerous Remedy by Kat Dunn. Couldn't tell you what this is about. I've taken this prompt as a book that I don't actually remember what it's about. It could be a book you don't remember buying, a book you don't remember seeing, borrowing, stealing. Don't steal, it's bad and wrong, but you know. So for this one, I'm going to read the little inside jacket to remind myself what it's about. So 1794, Paris seized like a many-headed serpent in the reign of terror. Deception, betrayal, heartbreak and fear flourish. Outcasts, Camille Laroche, a revolutionary's daughter, Ada, her runaway lover, Gil, a deserter, and Al, an aristocrat, are the battalion of the dead. They choose their family, their future, and they choose to fight, to cheat the guillotine of its bloody harvest, even as the blade falls. Their latest mission is a girl possessing dark, disturbing powers, haunted by royalists and revolutionaries. Who is playing who in this treacherous game of science, magic, love, and loss? To be fair, that does sound quite good, but yeah, I couldn't remember. Do you know the only thing I can remember is that there's a hot air balloon embossed into this cover. It's a great thing to remember, isn't it? About a book. The final book prompt that I have got on my list is the oldest publishing date on your shelf. So for me, this is not the oldest one that I haven't read, but it is the oldest one that I wish to read currently, and that is The Wind in the Willows. And this was originally written in 1904 or something. This is the Wandsworth edition. It is gorgeous. Can't we just appreciate? Again, another birthday present. Love this. It's a classic. I don't know. Like, it is just the oldest book that I can think of that I'd want to read, and because the cover is so pretty and because it is my best friend's favourite book, I thought I would actually give it a go and reread it, because I do remember reading this book, but I haven't read it in an awfully long time. And again, this is like 266 pages. I could use this book across 2 prompts, being oldest pub, shortest book. So that is fantastic. The other things about this readathon that I mentioned earlier, you get 3 free choices, so you can pick any book that you want to fill that in. I have got a couple of things in mind, one being The Empire of Gold, because I have to finish that next month, another being A Court of Mist and Fury, which will obviously get used up first because I need to read that before I read my intimidating book of A Court of Wings and Ruin. That makes sense, hey? Also, 5th season, Obelisk Gate, Stone Sky, that series. Maybe I'll use them for that. Also want to finish Finale because I'm reading Legendary. Also want to start City of Bones, possibly do a vlog series on that. We'll see, me rereading all the Mortal Instruments. I've mentioned that before already, but what can you do? But yeah, I have babbled on for a long time. This is going to take me ages to edit, but if you've made it this far, leave me a stack of books emoji. Why not? I see loads of people doing this. It could be a thing. So that is my rough TBR of minimum 18 books for the next 8 weeks. Wish me luck. To be fair, I think it's going to be alright as long as I get into these books. I think I might start with some chunkier ones. To be fair, I might start a chunky one tonight if I'm completely honest. Just to start this off. I think that would be great fun, but I think this is such a good idea, and to do towards the end of the year is fantastic. What better way to end this terrible year than by hitting all of our reading goals and clearing off our shelves a little bit? I don't know. But that is all from me today. If you liked this video, please give it a like. It really supports me and my channel. If you've read any of these books, where should I start? Are you taking part in the Clear Your Shit readathon? Tell me about your day. Let me know down below. I'd love a good chat. I love a good comment. I like sitting and talking to the people that watch me for goodness knows how long. But if you like seeing me, and if you want to see how I get on reading all of these books within the next 8 weeks, subscribe. I will be doing an update at the end of November and again at the end of December. As we usually do, I will be doing a yearly wrap-up, best books, worst books, things I should have done better. I don't know, a shed ton of videos. I'm hoping, I'm planning them now. But yeah, subscribe so you make sure that you keep up to date with all that. But otherwise, that's everything from me today. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will catch you soon in a new video. Bye.